Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Xander has an important question for Sarah at the cantina. Kayla complained to Steve about the supplement in sanitarium work due to staffing dearths. She had been glad to get down and catch up with him, and she asked about Trip and Wendy. Steve verified the couple was doing great, but Steve still missed Trip. Kayla also asked how effects with John had been going, and Steve gave a one-word fine, which irked Kayla. She at least wanted a longer response about Constantine, as she expressed unbelief that Maggie wanted to marry the man. Steve assured Kayla that she had no reason to worry about Maggie. Jada entered the cantina and saluted Steve and Kayla. Steve invited Jada to join them. She accepted and, upon Kayla's inquiry about her recent move, raved about living in an factual house with Rafe. Kayla was also happy that Jada had successfully gotten the inked divorce papers from Everett. Jada expressed her relief and credited Stephanie with helping move the process along. Jada participated her alarm about Stephanie trying to work effects out with Everett still. She believed Everett might break Stephanie's heart, as he'd hers. Jada backed off, stewing she had surpassed with Kayla and Steve. They fitted that they had some of the same enterprises, but Kayla comforted Jada that Pop Bear would step in if Everett did anything questionable. Steve wanted Jada to know that Pop Bear would come to her defense, as well. Jada was touched, and Steve reminded her that Jada's pater had meant a lot to him. Jada considered Kayla and Steve family, too. She apologized for not having made plans with them sooner but criticized workload, which urged Kayla to ask about the Clyde Weston case. Jada streamlined Steve and Kayla on the discovery of the Black Book. Jada was frustrated with the lack of progress on cracking the law that had been set up in the book, but was pleased when Steve said he could get the ISA to help with the law-breaking. Jada thanked Steve and revealed that Harris had also enlisted a Navy chum's help with the law. Jada hoped that the book could help the police near numerous cases, including Lee Shin's murder. Kayla and Steve were taken suddenly by the disclosure that Clyde might have been involved in the death of Lee. Jada wanted to concoct a way to let Clyde know the police had the Black Book, in expedience of drawing the fugitive eschewal of caching. Steve offered his backing, since the case was particular for his family, as Clyde had harmed both Abigail and Trip. Steve anticipated the day when that bastard is stopped formally and for all. Jada promised to make Sunday plans with Steve and Kayla and also departed. After Jada left, Kayla pressed Steve about the bus turning in his head. She did not want him to put too important on his plate by juggling Constantine and Clyde's case. Steve assured Kayla he was an effective multitasker. He could not give Kayla details about the plan for Constantine, but he promised her it was under control. Alex and Teresa rambled through Horton Town Square as Alex gasconaded about the beautiful effects Teresa had to choose from while shopping. Their attention was drawn when Constantine declared, maybe an engagement ring for the happy couple. Teresa glared at Constantine, who had approached with Maggie. Constantine continued gushing about Alex and Teresa as a couple and indeed suggested the two have a double marriage with Maggie and Constantine. Maggie snappily apologized and said Constantine tended to get carried down. Maggie also turned her attention to Alex and, more specifically, to why Alex wasn't at the Titan office. She reminded Alex that he demanded to prepare for a big meeting, but Alex smelled back that his timetable was none of Maggie's concern. He'd assigned his VP to the task, and besides, Titan was a well-waxed machine, thanks in large part to Alex. Maggie mused that Alex might want to get to the office, anyhow. Formerly you are done, stroking yourself on the reverse. When she saw that Alex was staying put, she murmured that one of them should go to work, and it would have to be her. Maggie left, leaving Constantine behind with a dissatisfied Teresa and Alex. Constantine prepared to leave after Alex aggressively asked why Constantine was still standing there, but Alex stopped him. He wanted Constantine to inform the stable hands that a new racehorse was being delivered to the manse. Constantine bristled when Alex declared his intention to move back into the manse and take over the East Sect, where Constantine abided. Alex also blazoned that he'd be talking with Maggie about Constantine living at the manse. Constantine scarfed and insinuated that any attempt to remove him would be met with kick by his soon-to-be woman. Teresa tried to play adjudicator and remind the men that the discussion was meaningless without Maggie present. Alex compactly told Teresa that half of the estate and half of the fortune belonged to him. He wondered audibly when the Hortons would be moving out. Constantine replied that the Horton House addition was on schedule, but he claimed he'd enjoyed having the family around. He hoped to enjoy Alex's company, as well. Alex scowled and left to buy further effects for Teresa. Once Alex was out of sight, Teresa lit into Constantine for bringing up an engagement ring. Constantine said he was just trying to move effects along for Teresa, but Teresa defended that she had formerly gotten back into Alex's bed. She only demanded to get into the manse. Constantine demanded she get quicker results, because time is of the substance. Their wrangle was cut short by a returning Alex, who was pleased when Constantine excused himself. Alex called Constantine unendurable and flippantly stated Maggie had to be lonely and indigent to want to be around the man, let alone marry him. He presented Teresa with a jewelry box. Teresa's eyes widened when she sighted the precious diamond choker that was outside. She blabbed that she had only been awaiting a little curio and wished that she could do commodity nice for Alex. He drew closer and murmured that he'd many ideas, also he kissed Teresa. Latterly, Alex and Teresa stumbled into their apartment as they kissed and got handsy with each other. Teresa tore off Alex's shirt, and he threw her onto the bed. Latterly, they lay breathless in each other's arms. Teresa confessed she was kind of crazy about Alex and urged him for a reply when he failed to respond. He believed that his conduct had spoken louder than any words could. Teresa left the room to reign. Formerly alone, Alex called Kristen, said he missed her, and promised to meet up the coming day. John arrived at the extension in response to upset Marlena's call. When John asked what was wrong, Marlena replied that Brady had told her about Maggie redistributing Maggie's part of the heritage to the family members left out of Victor's will. John agreed that the development presumably had Constantine losing his mind. Marlena fretted that the action would place Maggie in farther peril. While John was concerned, as well, he believed Constantine would bear himself for the time being because Victor's estate was so massive. John did want to call Maggie, still, to ensure Maggie had made no other unannounced plans. Latterly, Maggie sat down with John and Marlena. The couple thanked Maggie for including Brady in her heritage share, as it would enable Brady to take care of his kiddies financially in the long term. Maggie revealed that participating the fortune had been her intention indeed before Constantine. At Marlena and John's perturbed expression, she asked if she had done commodity wrong. John believed it was more important than ever to catch Constantine committing a crime. Marlena and John's curiosity was piqued when Maggie blazoned that she had allowed up the perfect plan. She detailed her idea to set Constantine up for embezzling Titan finances. Maggie theorized that since Alex had been so reckless and debonair with plutocrat since he'd gotten his part of the heritage, it would leave Titan open and vulnerable to such a crime. Marlena and John milled over the plan, and Marlena clarified that Maggie wanted to expose Constantine for the lowlife he is. Maggie smiled and said to leave that part to her. She was certain Constantine would be driveling over the favor she had been planning to ask him. John allowed